have this written down, so I'm sorry if I confuse myself.
Is that an apology to you or the class?
Hint, write it down for Thursday.
Let's go back to concert D major. Yes. Chord. Major.
When you do the releases prep, just think of it as, a release, breathe into the next beat. That's not a big deal. I think that's the one that's kind of giving you a hard time. You're not breaking the plane on beats 2 and 3 as well as you could. 1 is okay, 2 and 3. 1 is okay most of the time. You have this, it's nice, but it's not getting down. Your wrist is getting to here, and then it gets flat, and then you pull out of it before you have the chance to really get down into it.
It could be a little more centered. It's good on like 2 and kind of 1. I just think it could just push this way, like just a couple inches would make a big difference. I get what Jerusha is saying. I think it's a little bit of, and I don't like to talk. I don't like to talk in terms of Laban in this class because that's a different field of conducting study from kind of psychological conducting stuff, but I'm going to. What you're getting a little bit of is a dab gesture, which is a little harder to control than something else. Most people in the class are conducting very legato and very fluid, so they're using like a float gesture or a glide gesture if you think of you're underwater and you're pulling through things. Because you're taking it at a slightly faster tempo, you've got this weird weight that's going on. So it's like you're dabbing a paintbrush on a wall, kind of, except you're doing it vertically. You're not coming forward to back, or at least not that I can tell. But that quality of motion is going to give you a little bit more space, and it's also, it's going to do different things with your arm and your wrist. It's valid. I'm just not sure that it's what you necessarily want for this exercise. So I would think more like underwater glide kind of feeling, or at least like a buoyant kind of float feeling before I would get into, this kind of harsh thing. And that's, there was a good amount of articulation on the front of the note, and that's why. Oh, and one other thing, your index finger is doing something bizarre, or at least it looks like it is. Like, it looks like there's this weird gap that's forming between it and the rest of your hand sometimes, so just be careful that that's, you know, locked in position, not floating down, not floating out, not, you know, extending. It's just, there's some weird space that's happening.